YouTube, hello, welcome into my channel. My name is Jake Asman. Today we're going to be talking about the Jets and the Packers, who have two joint practices coming up a Wednesday and Thursday in Green Bay, and then the Jets and the Packers will both play their second preseason game on Saturday. Before we get to what to watch for in the joint practices this week, I do want to start off by saying, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below. I am nearing 6,000 subscribers, trying to get there by the end of the week. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you already subscribed, well, you can help me out by liking this video and commenting your thoughts down below. All right. Also, Twitter at Jake Asman, Instagram at Jake Asman. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk Jets and Packers. What to watch for this week. Let me start by saying this. I think it's a good thing that Robert Saleh wants to do joint practices. Remember, the Jets just don't do this year after year. They haven't done it. The last time the Jets had a joint practice against another team, you got to go back to 2015 against the Washington Redskins. So the Jets, just simply put, didn't do joint practices the last 5 years. So it's nice to see them go on the road, get that team bonding experience, get a chance to go up against another team, especially a team like Green Bay, a team that's 13-3 a year ago and was in the NFC Championship game. So things to watch for this week. I think the biggest thing to look out for is how the Jet corners play against the Packers wide receivers and, of course, Aaron Rodgers. Now, Jordan Love got hurt in the Texans preseason game on Saturday, so Jordan Love is not going to participate at all this week in the joint practice or in the game on Saturday. So it'd be nice to have Love out there as well, because at least you're talking about someone that's eventually going to be another starting quarterback in this league. It would be a nice challenge for the Jets defense to face both Rodgers and Love, but they're still going to face Rodgers in practice. We know he's not going to play in the game on Saturday. So the first matchup to watch is, okay, Jets corners. There's been some positive stories about how they have played so far in training camp. How does that now hold up against a team that has Devontae Adams, against a team that has Robert Tonyan, against a team that has Marquez Valdez-Scantling, against a team that obviously has the MVP of the league throwing to them at quarterback? Aaron Rodgers makes good players great and average players good. He's that type of player, as everybody knows. So that's the first matchup to watch. How do the Jets corners hold up against Devontae Adams and the rest of Aaron Rodgers' receivers? It will be fascinating to see if, some of these young guys on the team, and they're pretty much all young because that's the direction the Jets wanted to go. It will be fascinating to see if there's a guy that emerges this week and makes a whole heck of a lot of plays. So that's the first thing that I'm looking for. Once again, these practices are Wednesday and Thursday, off day Friday, or probably a walkthrough, and then the game is on Saturday. So that's the first thing that I'm looking to see. Now, the second thing that I want to see is how Zach Wilson does going up against a different defense, right? Aaron Rodgers is going up against the Jets defense. How does Zach Wilson do for the first time now going up against a really good football team? See, Wilson played well in his debut against the Giants, but we all understand the Giants didn't play most of their key starters. In practice, Wilson will now see different looks. He'll go up against really good players. He's going to have to deal with the Packers pass rush, right? He's going to have to deal with a guy like Zadarius Smith getting in the backfield and causing some havoc. He's going to have to deal in the secondary with a guy like Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes, who's their first-round pick out of Georgia. How is he going to look in the Packers secondary? So it's a nice challenge because we've only seen Zach Wilson against the Jets and obviously the Giants backups last Saturday. So let's see how Zach Wilson looks now going up against a team that's very good, a team that was obviously 13-3 each of the last 2 years. Good or bad, these type of experiences, I believe, are obviously good for this football team, good for the Jets long term. So that's the second thing that I'm looking out for. How Zach Wilson plays, which receivers take a big step forward. We know Elijah Moore is not going to practice this week. They expect him back next week, so it's a bummer not to have Elijah Moore out there going up against the Green Bay defense, but that's okay. We'll save that for the regular season. But who's going to make some plays this week? How does Corey Davis look going up against some of the number one corners that Green Bay has on its team? What could we expect from Jamison Crowder and Denzel Mims and Keelan Cole? How are those guys going to play? who makes some plays at the tight end spot. Jets could desperately use someone there to really step up and prove that they should be, tight end number one on opening day. And then also the running backs, right? Which running backs will make some plays here? Packers have a good defensive front. Which running backs can make some plays and stand out over the next couple days at these joint practices? Now, here's another matchup to watch. Staying with this Jets defense, how the Jets pass rush does going up against the Packers offensive line. Green Bay has a very good offensive line. It's not whole yet because obviously maybe the best left tackle in the sport, David Bakhtiari, he is still not practicing yet with the team. He tore his ACL in practice last season, remember, right before the start of the playoffs. I think it was right after they gave him a big extension as well. So he's not back yet. So not having him obviously impacts Green Bay. It would have been really cool to see, a guy like Carl Lawson go up against him in practice, but we're not going to get that this week. So we will have to wait to see Carl Lawson go up against an upper echelon left tackle. Oh, wait, he does that every day in practice with Mekhi Becton. And that's the next point I want to make. I really believe that Carl Lawson is going to be the best free agent signing the Jets have made in a long time. His scheme fit is perfect. His skill set is already translated. You talk to anyone who's been at the practices, he's been the best player on the field for the Jets. The Jets finally have their edge rusher that they've been searching for. Can't wait to watch Lawson play in the regular season. But this week, we saw him go up against the Jets defense or the Jets offensive line in practice, and he's winning a lot. He's wrecking havoc. Then we saw him look good in his one series or two series, whatever it was, against the Giants on Saturday. Now we get to see him against another team, against their ones in joint practices over the next 2 days. So I cannot wait to see Carl Lawson go up against the Packers offensive line. And then also, just the Jets defensive front in general. Quinn Williams is off the PUP list. He's off the PUP. He practiced on Monday. How's he going to look now in his first week back against the Packers? He's going to be participating in the practice this week. He's not going to play in the game on Saturday, Robert Saleh said. So this will be everyone's first look at Quinn Williams at practice this week. I'm looking forward to watching that matchup. Even without Bakhtiari, the Packers still have a very good offensive line, as we all know. Plus, they have Aaron Rodgers, who gets the ball out quick. So it's a really good challenge for not just Carl Lawson and Quinn Williams, but everyone on this Jets defensive front. We will see how they do. I mentioned Mekhi Becton. I can't wait to watch him go up against, Zadarius Smith, who's one of the NFL's best rushers in practice this week. And what you love about where the Jets are at right now with Mekhi Becton is that he gets it. And what do I mean by that? Well, I was watching his press conference yesterday after practice, and Mekhi Becton basically came out and said he appreciates the fact that Carl Lawson is so damn good and has beaten him a bunch at training camp. It's made him better. Quote, It really slowed down for me not going up against Carl every day, Becton said. He made it a whole lot easier for me. I think I did pretty good. After the first drive, I went up to him. This is, of course, Becton saying he went up to Carl Lawson and said, I appreciate you, bro. You made me a whole lot better. They have nothing on you. We all felt the difference of our D-line going up against another D-line. Carl Lawson is as good of a rusher as the Jets could face this year. The fact that they get to face him at practice every day, I think it's going to help a guy like Mekhi Becton and this Jets offensive line. So now, it's like why, someone in the on-deck circle in baseball has a weighted bat, so the bat feels lighter when they're actually swinging in the actual batter's box, right? It's kind of like, Mekhi Becton having to face Carl Lawson every day at practice. So I'm excited for that. So basically, Jets offensive line versus the Packers defensive line, specifically Mekhi Becton when he's matched up against Zadarius Smith at some of these practices here. And I'm only emphasizing the practices because it sounds like basically none of the Packers' key players are going to play in that second preseason game. So it's certainly important to note that. And then just finally, I'm excited to see just the overall Jets defense against the Packers offense. Why is that? Well, Robert Saleh and Matt LaFleur, who's the Packers head coach, are really good friends. Robert Saleh was the best man at Matt LaFleur's wedding. Think about that. The best man at his wedding was Robert Saleh. Obviously, Mike LaFleur is the Jets offensive coordinator, who, if you haven't put it together, is the brother of the Packers head coach, Matt LaFleur. Don't forget about Peter LaFleur as well, Average Joe's dodgeball champion and owner, of course, purchase Global Gym with the prize money, all that. Haha. But anyway, it's going to be fun to see how Saleh's defense does against LaFleur, because those guys are really good friends, and there's going to be some competitive spirit there. And same thing with, which offensive play calling guru does a better job this week. Is it going to be Matt, or is it going to be Mike? Jet fans obviously hope it's going to be Mike, who's coaching up Zach Wilson and this offense. So that's what I'm looking for. Once again, I think it's really good that the Jets are doing these joint practices. Next week, they'll have more joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's good, man. I think it brings together team chemistry when you're going up against a different team, getting a chance to travel and be away for a week. I think it's good for team bonding for the Jets. I think they need to come together and have better camaraderie. They're coming off a 2-win season, as we all know. So overall, I'm feeling really good about where this team's at, and it's going to be really fun to see, Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers work up close, because as a lot of people know, the comp for Zach Wilson by some is Aaron Rodgers. The way they play, off-platform throws, ability to throw on the run. Plus, Zach Wilson's been asked a couple times already which quarterback that he modeled his game around, or which quarterback did he like watching the most growing up. And he says Aaron Rodgers is his first answer. And then, he throws in Tom Brady, because you kind of have to if you play the quarterback position. So that's what I'm looking for this week. You tell me what you're looking for. I see we have about 50 people right now watching live. Let's go through some of the comments here as we wrap up. Excited to have Zach Wilson and see Aaron Rodgers work up close. Absolutely. SG writes in here, Becton versus Za'Darius Smith, no doubt. Corey Davis versus Alexander, good corner against good receiver. That's a fun matchup to watch. Devin here also writes in, or it might be Devon. I apologize if I got the name wrong. Devin or Devon. Interior lineman versus Kenny Clark. That's going to be fun. Here's another one from Cyber Stema. Lawson's a killer signing. He's making everyone better. He absolutely is. Anthony writes in, is Becton overrated? Carl Lawson owns him in camp. Becton is not overrated. Mekhi Becton is really good, and he's won some of these matchups as well, but it's good to have him go up against Carl Lawson in camp. It's only going to make him better. Just like Zach Wilson going up against the Jets defense in practice is only going to make him better when it's all said and done. Hader Ali writes in, this will help our Jets in their team building and development, both on offense and defense. Great experience for Zach watching his idol Rodgers practice. Totally agree. Team bonding experience. I think it's really, really good. This will be the biggest test of the preseason. James, I tend to agree. There's not going to be a better team the Jets face either in a joint practice or in a game than the Packers. And since we know most of the key players for the Packers are not playing on Saturday, this game is not the storyline this week is about these two joint practices, which are going to be Wednesday and Thursday. 1K Rich, Elijah Moore status. If you missed it earlier, I said it at the top of this video. He's day-to-day. Robert Saleh says the Jets expect to get him back next week. So he's not going to participate this week, which is a bummer. But obviously, with less than a month to go before the season, there's plenty of time for him to come back. He clearly knows this offense. He's already an excellent route runner, so I'm not really concerned with Elijah Moore. Michael writes in, a lot to look forward to as a Jets fan. Absolutely. Isn't that nice? We actually have some hope, some optimism, some key things to watch. I think if you're a Jet fan, you should be very excited about where this team is at right now. Brian writes in, will the Jets get a veteran kicker? I don't know. I mean, they cut Nagar yesterday, so they have one kicker right now on the team. If he struggles, then maybe they add someone. Kicking, you hope that's not a problem for this team. We have been tortured by bad kickers the last couple seasons. Don't even bring up week 1 of 2019 where the Jets lost the game essentially because they didn't have a capable kicker. So yes, I would like to see the Jets solidify the kicking position, but it's hard. It's not easy to do. Mobtown Photography. Let's go. Hell yeah, let's go. I'm excited. It's going to be fun to watch some of these matchups over the next couple of days. And finally, Michael Brooks, the DBs versus Aaron Rodgers. No doubt. That was the first thing that I brought up at the top of this video. Jets defensive backs, young, inexperienced. They're going to get a lot of experience facing arguably the best quarterback in the league, if not the best. Certainly in the top 3, the reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers. So we will see. But I think overall, this is going to be a good week for the New York Jets, and we'll have you covered here on my YouTube channel. So if you're new, please subscribe down below. If you've been here before, please like this video. It helps the YouTube algorithm so more people see it and more people can interact in the comment section. Once again, my name is Jake Asman. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's just my name, at Jake Asman, ASMAN. Thanks for watching this video. We'll continue to talk Jets every single day and much more here on YouTube. Have a good Tuesday, everybody. See ya.